Hey guys, this is Clinton, and so today I'm recording a video about the importance of multitasking and soleil yoga. So first I want to say I was talking to one of my friends earlier today, and so I was telling him about the importance of yoga and how you can stretch and it releases the tension in your lower back. And so one of the cool things I have with me is one of the tools that I use to stretch out my lower back at home. It's called a TheraCane. So this is a nifty little thing. You can find it on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description, but effectively what it does is, I'm not sure if the camera will catch this, but you can see this has like a little hooked edge. So you can what I do is I actually use this to like dig into my lower back as I stretch and I do yoga. Ooh. And it just helps to dig into their muscles. And so the thing is, guys, when you have a lot of emotional blockages within you, it all gets stored within your sacral chakra. So like, we're gonna get a little spiritual here for a second. So everything gets stored inside your sacral chakra. And so that's why yogis and people like that, they recommend doing that, like those lower back stretches that kind of like have you, stretching out your back like this, especially if you sit at a computer desk all day. So guys, I pretty much, since the age of like 2 years old, I've been like playing video games and like sitting down. Like I got on computer when I was like 4 or 5 years old. So like I've been sitting down in front of a desk. Like my occupation has always been just sitting down at a desk. So I have so many years of just like tightness like in my lower back from just, sitting down and not stretching. So now that I have the opportunity to do yoga and to stretch and to take time in the middle of my day, in the middle of the day rather, to just get some sunlight. So it's not actually too bright. It's kind of overcast actually. It's perfect. It's really, nice and calm outside. And so, you don't want to do, well, I mean, there's trees that you can obviously do yoga under, when the sun's too bright, but I don't like doing it when it's too harsh. I just like doing yoga when it's, just nice and mellow outside like it is now. But without rambling too much on the topic, guys, I just want to talk about the importance of just spending time out in the sun doing yoga. So it's different. I mean, you can obviously do yoga wherever you can, right? If you can only do yoga at home, do yoga at home. But if you can, come out and do it in a park in the evening time or in the early morning before it gets too warm. But the thing is, you get a lot of positive energy from the sun, like a lot of vitamin D and things like that. So I'm also somebody that, because of my occupation, I sit inside, there's windows sometimes when I work, but most of the time I'm just in a little room, with like the fluorescent lights and stuff around, right? So I don't really get a lot of sunlight. But once I started doing yoga and coming outside and then doing yoga in the sunlight, there's doing yoga inside your house and then there's doing yoga in the park or like just out in nature, right? Like you can even be in your backyard. It doesn't have to be in a park, right? But just doing yoga outside, allowing the sun to kind of just beat down on you. You get a little bit of positivity, going there, feel the wind. It's amazing, guys. A year ago, if I would have heard myself talking about this, I would have been like, Clinton, what the hell are you talking about, right? But no, seriously, guys. So I just want to talk about the effects of it. So anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and start my stretching session. Another thing, I'm using my AirPods right now to record audio. I'll try to find some other more sophisticated way to record audio, but when I talked about multitasking, the last thing I want to touch on is just about how you can also listen to podcasts. You can listen to any kind of instructional videos, audibles, things like that. So doing yoga is also a way to force yourself to sit still and do something and listen, right? So what I do is I will use the TheraCane and dig into my lower back and do yoga. So this is the beginning of my session, so I'm not going to use the TheraCane just yet. But I use the TheraCane to dig in and release. And I also have my AirPods going, listening to either music. So sometimes I'll vibe out to some tunes, or sometimes you can just listen to like YouTube videos, like YouTube shows, things like that, right? Like you do audio only. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to kind of end the video there. I'm just gonna go ahead and get into my yoga stress session, and hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.